Hello, welcome back to Kats Creations and More. Kats Creations Wreaths, depends on where you're looking for me. Website, KatsCreationsNMore.com. If you are on Facebook, you will find me under Kats Creations Wreaths. So I want to welcome you back. Today, we are finishing some summer designs. So, I told you guys we're going to be doing, and you guys voted for this a while ago, but I was like, I can't find the ribbon. And so I have to wait for the ribbon to come in. Well, the ribbon came in. So we're going to be doing that wreath today. Before we get started, a couple housekeeping items. One, if you want to save this tutorial and you are on YouTube, just go ahead and click the save button. If you happen to be on YouTube, you're just going to click the share button. What that does is a quick copy paste from my Facebook page to your Facebook page where you will want to download the video because you only have 30 days to do so. Otherwise, it is gone forever. Well, not forever. Just go over to YouTube and you'll find it there. If you want to turn notifications on so you don't miss any of my tutorials, if you are on YouTube, just click the subscribe button or the subscription bell and you're all set. I'd love to have you guys join me there. If you are on Facebook, you will need to make sure that you have liked my business page, Kats Creations Wreaths. And then right next to the blue button to the right hand side, 3 little dots, click on that, opens up a sub menu. Just make sure your turn live notifications field is got the little dot in the box and then you're good to go. Let's see, let's get chat enabled here real quick and make sure that we are all good to go. I'm just checking make sure they're all here. We are live on YouTube. Let's check with Facebook. Refresh the page. We are live on Facebook. Let me turn chat on so I can see all of you. Hi, Georgiana. Hi, Valerie. Hi, Deborah. She says, I'm new to you from Michigan. Well, welcome. How'd you happen to find me? I'm always curious to know how people find me. Alicia says, hello, how's the weather on your end today? Dying. Oh, it's so hot. In the shop right now, currently it's 85. Outside, it is 79. So we're just starting to go down from our high 80s. Again, weatherman always lies. Whatever the weatherman tells me, I always add 5 to it. And then you pretty much get an accurate high temperature. So I'm hoping today is the last of our super hot weather. Normal for Washington this time of the year is like 63. So over the last couple of days, we've been trending 90 to 95. So that's really outside of normal for us. Hi, Sharon. Hi, JCat. Hi, Debbie. Hi, Lawless. And I think that's all I can see right now. So let me go ahead and pivot you down. Let me give you really quick. Let me post the website should you guys want to hop over there and check out some of the free stuff I am sharing. Deborah Sunny popped up. So, well, welcome. Thanks for joining me. Okay, I'm going to pivot you down. I got like flies in here because I have both doors open. I need the airflow. So, pivoting down, dropping you down. We're doing the 14-inch Dollar Tree wreath frame again. Like I said, finishing up some summer designs. Color palette for today is going to be brown, yellow, and white. So let me show you the sign. This used to be from Craft Outlet. It does not come up on Facebook anymore. So honestly, I've had this sign for a couple years, might even go past 3. It just says, have a Brew-Tea-Ful day. So it's a play on iced tea. So this is what we're doing, our iced tea, sweet tea, summer themed wreath. So this is a 10 by 6 MDF sign. We're going to be using that on our design. Pairing that with a yellow fabric mesh. Now, I'm a huge fan of fabric mesh. And I always tell you, because I always get asked, do you cut it with a rotary cutter since this fabric has natural fibers in it? I always say, give it a go. See if it'll cut. Because sometimes it'll cut. I don't know why. Sometimes it will and sometimes it won't. This one actually cut, so I was really super thrilled which means that I have kind of melted my ends a little bit. So fraying should be kept at a low minimum. We are doing 18 of these cut to 20 inches. And I've had a couple things from my members pop up that says, hey, we're doing 20-inch cuts, doing our ruffles. We're pretty, we're accurate on our cuts, but we're coming up short, meaning they're not getting the full 20. And that is something that, it's on the manufacturer, because 20-inch cuts, 18 of them is 360, which is 36 inches on a 30-foot roll. So we should have enough. But if you just want to be on the safe side, cut 20 at 19 inches, and then you'll have more than enough. You can even cut the first 9 at 19 inches and then cut the last 9 at 20 inches. You're not going to notice that difference between an inch or not. But that's a way you can prepare for that. I've had that happen a couple times. Thankfully, I always have a backup roll, but it does really disappoint me when I have to open up a roll of Deco mesh just to pull one piece out because it came up short. So this is what we're going to do. Deb says, what is it about Brookville that everyone wants to come here and get our kids? What are you referring to? So we are working on a ruffle technique that, like I said, I have cut my pieces with the wood burning tool. It successfully did that. So we are going to ruffle, which just means we're going against the curl. So you're going to kind of just picture an imaginary line right up the center, and we are going to gather and pull those together just like this. And we're forming like 1/2-inch pleats as I'm pulling that towards me. This is known as the ruffle technique. It's also known as the scrunch or bow tie method. We are going to take this right where I'm holding it, and it is going to go right in the center of our pipe cleaner. Just like this, couple twist, twist, twist. Let me make sure I'm pulling it up here too. Who am I today? I am not who I want to be. Okay, let's go here. Why didn't you switch? Okay. Man, it is so hard not to get distracted, you know? Okay, Facebook, why are you just being funky? Come on. Jump on board. Jump on board. We do this. And okay, we're done. All right, so I took care of that problem. Alrighty, so super simple, just like this. I don't want you to get confused and think that this is a pancake method. This is just me putting one piece of Deco mesh on top. I am doing the center of this, and before I get too crazy, because I totally forgot to do this, walk you through wiring your frame. So you're just going to take your pipe cleaner, you're going to put it right in the center between your two welds, wiring together the two innermost ones. We are going to pull that forward. You're going to do a little twist, twist, twist. And then you're going to do it on the outside too, same way. Making sure they're even. Twist, twist, twist. I'm using the center and the weld and finding a center point here. And then on the outside, same thing. Just like this. So that is how you wire. You have 6 sections on a Dollar Tree wreath frame. And then now we'll finish adding our mesh. So I've already come in and laid in my first piece. So second piece, same method. Just like so. Ugh, boy. Okay. It was so nice when I went to put my chickens away late last night. I was like, I almost had to put a sweater on. And so I thought, oh, well, this is a relief. We're experiencing cool down. We should have much cooler temperatures today. No, they're still where they were like Saturday. So I'm not happy, but I also know it takes a lot longer when they tell you, oh yeah, you'll have really super high temperatures for like 2 days and then it's going to drop 20 degrees. Yeah, it doesn't happen like that. Hi, Carolyn. Welcome. So I've added my outside piece. You can see that that inside piece creates a filler between those two. So that is there. This is here. We're coming in and putting in our outside piece here. This is the way you're going to continue all the way around on your 14-inch wire wreath frame, providing that it has 4 rails and 6 sections. Because I don't know what's going on with Dollar Tree. They have not had any in stock for a very long time. So I'm going to take this, plop this down right over the top of my other center one. And then, because it will fray where it is cut, so I like to take and fold my edges, just the very edge down, so that the edges are underneath. This way I'm not playing with any cut edges as I add ribbon, add embellishments, add whatever. But as you can see, this is just one section of 6. It creates a very full wreath. So let me show you what it looks like when we go ahead and fast forward and put this all the way around. And I'm going to tuck this under here for now because I don't have a place for it. Here we go. This is what it looks like. And I've actually started to add some of my ribbons because I was playing with the colors. So I wasn't really sure what color I wanted. I had opted to go with a brown. And then I was like, is it going to be too dark? Because this is a summer wreath. We should probably pop a more brighter color. So that's why I went with yellow. So let me show you what it looks like when we take that sign and we put that sign right on top of the yellow. It takes all the yellow, pulls the yellow right out of the sign, and makes that stand up. And then the brown, it doesn't get lost. It doesn't get muddied if I put brown on top of brown. Do you get what I'm saying there? So let me show you what ribbon combinations we're going to use, because I ordered 2 new brown ribbons too. And that sign is from Craft Outlet, Deco Mesh Craft Outlet. Like I said, but the sign is not available on Craft Outlet site, but that is where I bought it from. So what I am doing for our ribbon combinations, a little bit of a different spin. Some of you have seen me do this before. Some have not. We are taking 2.5-inch sweet tea. Has lemons on it, so sweet tea and sunshine. As a sweet tea sip-in, has a pitcher, has a mug, has a glass, and then lemon holes, fruit, and then lemon slices. 2.5 inches cut to 14 inches. Actually, both 2.5 inches are cut to 14. The 1.5 inches that I'm pairing that with is a white and yellow Swiss dot, and we're going 30. So we're going to do a hand-tied bow. Okay. And then we are taking our brown and white cabana ribbon. This is like my new favorite ribbon. Pairing that with a yellow and white plaid ribbon. This one, the 1.5 inches is cut to 19-inch pieces. On the longer Swiss dot, it's cut to 30. So let me show you how we're going to put these in. Oops, need to grab that one. Okay. So we are putting these around the outside only. I have removed all of my inside pipe cleaners because our sign is a 10 by 6. So it's going to take up some room, and then we're going to add a bow. So the inside don't need to deal with because we are adding sign and bow. So here's our 14 inches. We're going to fold this in half to find true center. We're going to gather right up the center. I always like to make sure that my ribbon is facing the same direction, even though this is a vertical print, so that it's in the same direction as everything else. And then we go ahead and add that to our pipe cleaner. We're going to pull it to the outside. And then for our hand-tied bow, it's a little different. Okay, move this over here. That's out of the way. Chip clip thingy's gone. Since this is a 30-inch ribbon, it actually should have been, well, no, 30 inches is good. Because it kind of like, where you have the twist, it kind of like adds a little bit. So the first thing you're going to do is put it on your 0 marked line. You're going to measure out the first 7 inches. You're going to gather what's in your right hand. I want you to transfer to your left and slide your hand back to the start. Measure off another 7 inches, gather, hand it off to your left hand, and I want you to put a twist on it. Now I want you to go back to your start finish line, measure out another 7 inches. You're going to gather, pass it off to your left hand. Here I am, passing it off. I'm going to put a twist on it, and that is going right in the center of my ribbon. And then I'm going to give it 4 or 5 twists. I'm going to cut the remainder of my pipe cleaner off. I'm going to take this little stub. I'm going to tuck it around behind. And then I'm going to open my loops. And then I really want that sweet tea ribbon to show, so I'm going to kind of pull it forward like this so that we can see both of them. And if you feel like your ribbon tail might be a little short, and it's been happening to me, it's like the last ½ inch just feels like on the left hand side it's just a little long, so I'm trimming that up, and I'm really only taking off yeah, literally a quarter inch. So that is the first one. Let me show you what we're doing on the second one. We have diagonal plaid, doing the same thing, folding it in half, right up the center. We're going to add these to wherever we have our brown pipe cleaners. One complete twist. I'm going to push my fingers underneath. Let's zoom in for you guys, right there. Push underneath so you get them, right now they go like that when you put them in. So we want to pop them out. Okay, and then we are going to take that 1.5 inch ribbon. We're going to bring our dovetailed edges together. We're going to go up about 2 inches. From here to where I'm going to pinch is 2 inches. Gather that together. You're going to place that right inside your pipe cleaner. Give it 3 or 4 twists. Go ahead and remove the excess pipe cleaner. And then I'm taking this little remnant piece and I'm going to wrap it all the way in the back. Then I'm going to open my loop. I have to right side the wrong portion of my fabric on my ribbon. So I'm just going to go in and retwist that. And there we have ribbon combo number 2. We're just adding slight pops of the brown just to emulate the color of our sweet tea. Can you do the bow on the Bowdabra? Yes. She says, I'm having fits with arthritis on my hands. Yes, I'll show you how to do that because we're ready to start another one. So absolutely. So let's add our 14 inch. Just like this, right up the center. Right inside. Oops, gotta find my pipe cleaner. It's hard to see with all that yellow. Okay, I'm gonna pop that out. And, okay, Mr. Fly, it's time for you to leave. I think he's attracted to the yellow. I don't know why. So here's our Bowdabra. So super simple, okay? Measure out your first 7 inches and twist. Okay, twist it. Oops, let me go big, sorry. 7 inches, we're twisting. Started with the right side fabric. We're going to go up and over and twist. And let me see what I'm aiming for. 3.5 should make 7. But that's not a 3.5 inch bow. Oh, look. What am I aiming for by doing it on the bow dabber? I think it's like a 4. Let me look if that's right. Nope, it's not. It is a 3.5 inch ribbon, a 3.5 inch loop. So bring it in, 3.5 inches, up and over. I'm just trying to see how I can do this and make it turn out. Let's bring this in. I'm putting my bow dabber on a 10-inch marker line, so when I stretch this out, see, it's coming up a little bit short. So let me double check. I'm 7 inches here, so let's go. I'm trying to make it perfect for a bow dabber, and I don't mind doing that. So let's go 6.5. We're doing 3.5 because I came up short on my end piece. 3.5. Let's go up and over. I'm like trying to push my wreath out, and we are pretty darn close. I'm like right at 6, and this is 6.5, so I can live with that. So you can even do 6 inches for the first, 3.5 inches, 3.5 inches, and then your remnant should be 6 to 6.5. And if you want to trim that off, you can. So I am just going to take this, plop that right in the center. Same theory. Go ahead and twist. Take the remainder off. Tuck that behind. And we're going to open our loops. Open the loop. And like I said, I like that ribbon, the sweet tea ribbon, to showcase, so I'm going to always make sure that is visible to the outside, and that's just a matter of placing that where I can see all the things. So sometimes it's just realigning my ribbon so I can really see the sweet tea pattern coming through. But that's that. Okay, next one, 14 inches, and straight up the center, placing that right inside our pipe cleaner. 1 complete twist. Push your the undersides of your ribbon up. Then we are going to do dovetailed edges together. Go up 2 inches, gather in, place that right on the inside, twist, twist, twist. Oh, here they are, sitting right in front of me on top of my red scissors. Take the remnant, put it behind, open our loop, take the wrong side, flip it to the right, and then just go ahead and position that to where it showcases what you want it to. So I kind of like it like that. I like adding the regular hand-tied bows. That looks amazing. Again, we're back to our sweet tea combo. Right up the center. I'm just going to pull that one down out of the way. 1 complete twist. Go right underneath. So sometimes your Deco mesh pieces can be too close together, so just roll them underneath. Take that control back so that it lays where you want. And then remember, we'll do it again on the bow dabber, 20-inch pieces. We are going to go 6, I'm going to do 6 in, twist, lay it inside my Bodabra, making 3.5-inch loops. So right now I'm just kind of gauging, but then I'll take it and put it on a 30, 20, or 10-inch line so that when I stretch this out, right now it's like 4.5. I'm going to bring that back to where I got a 3.5-inch loop. Do that on the other side. Bring it back. Make sure your loop diameter is where it needs to be. And then back out. And I am just a touch over. Like just a touch. And then we're going to lay the whole thing right inside. Go ahead and remove the extra. Wrap this around. Open the loop. I'm going to pull that down. Readjust this loop. See how right now they're together? I want to just readjust those so that it allows my ribbon to lay flat. Just like that. Right between my sun tee. Just like so. Okay. Back to our yellow plaid. Straight up the center. Plop that right inside. While I'm finishing these up, what kind of embellishments would you think about adding to this design? How could you elevate this outside of the ribbon tails, the sign, and the bow? Taking our 1.5 inches, going up 2 inches, literally, I kid you not, it's 2 inches. Place that right inside. Couple twist, twist, twists. Oop. Taking the leftover, wrapping it behind. This helps hide that, so when we open the loop, we don't see the pipe cleaner. You can do the same on a loaded wreath, like something that already has the tinsel ties on it. You can do this exact same thing. And then we're back to the next. Cheryl says maybe some lemons. You know, I looked for lemon slices. I was like, I know I have them. Pull out all my fruits. I have limes. No lemons. Go figure. So now I'm going to have to order some more lemon slices. I think I used them in a wreath design before. It was either another sweet tea or a lemonade. So I'm like thinking, okay, well, what if you don't have lemons? What else can we elevate it with? I thought about adding some brown scatters and fillers to the ends of the yellow, because then that would, you know, color contrast would look really good. But I'm always trying to think, what do people have available to them? What can they use? Obviously Hobby Lobby, Walmart, Michael's are all going to have your fruits. So they're going to have your lemon slices for you. Let me do this manual process one more time. I'm just taking 7-inch or 10-inch, bringing it to my 10-inch line, measuring off 7 inches. We're gathering, stretching that out, measuring another 7 inches, handing it off with a twist, back to the 0, or in my case the 10, measure out another 10, oops, flip it in here, just like that, and slight twist. And that's going to go right inside my bow. Ooh, I like that. Lemon straws. She says a lemon pink can fix it. I don't know. You should see it, because the inside of the lime slices kind of has like a green hue to it. I don't think we'd be able to get away with that, but great idea, great option. lemon straws are definitely super cute. I like that idea. Even adding some faux ice cubes would be super cute to that design to definitely elevate it a little higher. So I'm all about testing things and seeing how they all work. I ordered some strawberries today from Amazon just to see what the quality of them was like. I'm not thrilled. I'll have to show them to you. They're plastic. They look good until you pull them out and then you're like, these are plastic. Great thought is, though, they will hold up really well outside in the weather because they are made of plastic, whereas like some of the styrofoam would not tolerate inclement weather, like the ones that you can get at Hobby Lobby. They're kind of like a little foam. So these ones definitely, so there's a perk, right? Trying to find the positive in all the things. So the positive thing is, hey, you could leave that one outside now, because the strawberries will do really, really well. Again, bringing my sweet tea ribbon to the top, making sure we can see all the things. Tuck that one under, bring that one up. So there is our finished design. Clearly you can see the 6 brown because those are easily identifiable on a bright yellow fabric mesh. But look at what it does when you add the sign, you guys. Look how pretty that is. Have a beautiful day. So we're going to make a bow. We are definitely going to put a bow because I like the fact that it's in a jar-like sign, so I don't want to impact that here. I don't really want to take away from the bottom, so we're going to just kind of put it off to the side a bit over here, and then we're going to add some whole lemons. That's what I do have available. It's on a pick, so I'm going to modify the pick to make it work, and then we'll go from there. So let me grab all of the ribbon. So here's our iced tea, our cabana, the Swiss dot, the diagonal plaid. What are we adding to that, Kat? Must be UPS. A brown and white diagonal plaid, and then I do have a little bit of the yellow lemon blossoms. It doesn't have any lemons on it because I think the way they cut the ribbon, they kind of cut it off, but it does have a lemon theme. So how am I laying this out? Knowing that I want to end with this, it means I have to start with the brown. So if we start with brown, then we add our yellow, then we would add our brown, then we would end up adding our yellow, our brown, and then like that. Let me go grab another roll of this because this is really low and I don't think I have enough on that roll. Okay. I thought it was going to be a little closer to the top, but then I chose to do hand-tied bows, which are 30 inches over 19. So, I don't know, we might have enough. So I just brought it just in case, which works out good because the sweet tea on top of the brown will set the tone. Hi, Anna. So did you see the sign, Cheryl? Ta-da! It's have a Brew-Tea-Ful day. I would have liked to have seen it say full, like Brew-Tea-Ful day. Like make the day full. But that's just me. Alrighty. So first things first, dovetailing the ribbon means bringing the wired edges together, cutting from the folded side down to the wired point, just like that. We are measuring off 10 inches. Let's put these guys back. 10 inches. We're going to gather. We're going to twist. Slide that right inside. And we're going to do 5.5-inch loops. So lining it up on the 10. So this way I can see it. And then when I stretch it out, I can see where 5.5 inches is. So I just back it off so that it's at 5.5. Flip it over to the other side. I'm going to estimate, but then verify. And this time I'm up a little bit short. There we go. And then back out 10 inches. Okay, Lord, I need you to send in a cooling breeze. Sometimes I think God sits out there and he's like, all you have to do is ask and I will send in a little nice cool breeze to blow right through those doors. Okay, that's this. So all of the ribbon from today came from Craft Outlet. All of it is still available on Craft Outlet, so it's relatively easy for you to put together. Now we're going to take our yellow and white plaid. Thank you, Lord, for the breeze. It feels so lovely. Wired edges together. Cut from that fold to the wired end. And yes, I do ask God for little things like that. I'll be working in the garden and I'm like, Lord, can you like clump the clouds together, give us a little bit of cloud cover for just a second? Sometimes it happens and sometimes it doesn't. We're going up and around. This time we're going to go right there. And doing the same thing. I just always like building my bows to the left. That's just something that I've been doing since I started. It just kind of evolved on its own. Oh, that feels so good. Okay. Right up here. Just like that. Hard to believe that I used to live in the desert where like a good average day would be like 90, you know, and here we just have a lot of humidity here in Washington because it does. We have a really low, reasonably low dew point, which means that, because I always thought this, with all these Christmas tree farms, they certainly don't drag out waterers every day. How do they water the plants? Dew point. Back in the days when knowing at what temperature does it need to be before dew collects on your live plants. And I think ours today is supposed to be 63, but the low tonight, guys, 49. Real deal is like add 5, it'll be 54, but still good, which means we will have dew. This next one's going to be 9 inches for the tail. And we're going to go with 4.5 inches for the loop length. So I always know just to bring it back like just a little bit. So there's 4.5. Up and over. 4.5. Pull it back. Verify the length. And then back out to 19 inches. We'll go ahead and trim that off. So we have a finished look on that one. Oh, that's true. Anna, question, have you ever done anything for Celebration of Life? Yes, I just did it this Saturday. So my dad passed away in March, not March, his funeral was in March of 2024. And so it wasn't the funeral we wanted because obviously stepmom. So we ended up getting plants. Like my husband and I both planted trees in remembrance of our parents. So he got 2 beautiful They're called Crimson King, which means they start off red and then they'll turn to brown in the summer. But it gives you that fall-like color all through spring, and you don't have to wait for fall for that. So we planted 2 maples for his parents, and he said, you know, whatever he wanted to say for his mom and dad. And then I planted what's called a quaking aspen. I call them shimmer trees. So when the winds blow, their leaves kind of do this. And so that it's like, it almost looks like it's shimmering, like a glitter. Glitter girl, right? So we planted trees. I did my dad's ceremony the way that I wanted. I got to say all the things that I wanted to say about my dad. And then we planted trees. And so now they have a living memorial. So maybe that's something you want to do, Anna. Okay, this one, 10, 9.5, 9, 8.5 is my ribbon tail length. I thought about sunflowers, Cheryl. You mean for the ribbon embellishments? I have sunflowers. I was just trying to keep this one like sweet tea themed. And I was like, I have to have lemon ribbon. No, you don't. I do. It's in all the wrong colors. It's like in blue. I have to have lemon ribbon. No, you don't. I do. It's in all the teal. 8.5. Dovetail the end. You're having your husband's who passed in March in September. His parents did, ideas for centerpieces. What did your husband like? I mean, I just posted, in the private group, we did a cemetery saddle, which makes for a really nice centerpiece. But I have lots of tutorials on this page for centerpieces. So maybe finding a container that you like, Anna, and then get dry floral foam and whatever florals you would like, and watch the tutorials because the process is the same. You're going to green your base, and then you're going to add your focal flowers, your medium-sized flowers, and then your fillers. Right, Cheryl said, does he have a favorite flower or color? Need ideas for centerpieces? Let me think. Did I post one? If you search my YouTube page, look up sunflower centerpieces under my channel, and you should find one that I think would be a really good starting point for you. Okay, so we have 8 inches here. Oh, yellow and black. Maybe go with yellow florals and then pop it with the black ribbon. You know, because you could do like the black and white cabana ribbon, like this, but black and white, and pairing that with like sunflowers. This is what I would do. I would look up the language of flowers for yellow flowers. Look up what does it mean for yellow sunflowers, yellow roses. I think those are friendship. Daffodils. I'm trying to think of what else are yellow. Snapdragons. I would just look up the meaning and then build your centerpiece around the floral meaning of each flower that you add in there. Does that make sense? Like you can add some pieces that are eternal, you know, eternity and eternal love and stuff like that. You can pop some of those in with white. Like you can do mini white roses paired with different yellows. I just need to do that more. Thank you for reminding me of doing that. I'm going to start showcasing what that is. And I got that from reading this book called The Language of Flowers. And sometimes the way people communicate is through the flowers they send to each other and what the symbolic messages of that. But yeah, definitely add, like, you could do a black and white Swiss dot paired with a black and white cabana, and that would keep it kind of masculine looking. And then just pair whatever flowers you like. I would go with what you like. And then what is the meaning behind them? Oh, I love that too, Cheryl. She says sometimes mason jars with wildflowers are really sweet. Absolutely. Okay, so this one was 8-inch tail, 4-inch loop, and the final one is going to be a 7.5-inch tail. So we've been bringing it up a 1/2 inch every single time. So 10, 9.5, 9, 8.5, 8, and then this is 7.5. So I should have just enough of this to get me through. So 7.5. You know, even adding some lemon blossoms. Oh, see, I like that. Cheryl says yellow pansy is thinking of you. Honeysuckle is devoted affection. I love honeysuckle. Used to go in my garden. We've had it before. I'd like to have it again. Like I said, yellow roses is symbolic to friendship, so that can tie into the friendship you guys had. Even though you were married, you were still, you know, one another's best friend. 7.5. Boop. Okay. Ending. Right there. Alrighty. Look, I had that much to spare. That's to tell you how, you know, you can keep ribbon, because sometimes you just need 30 inches to make like the top part of a bow. So I would never throw that away. This is what I do. It becomes part of my ordering system. So I'll show you what I do for my ribbons. I will put a piece of what the ribbon looks like along with the tag. I end up taping these, and then this just goes on a clipboard, so when I'm ready to place my ribbon order, I pull all these down and I start ordering them so that I have them all back in stock when I need to. You're so welcome. Okay, so now we're going to lift these up. Oops. We're going to flip those around, drop that inside, twist, and just hold the bottom. Just hold your pipe cleaner in your bottom. I'm not even spinning my fingers. And now we're going to fluff. We're going to fluff. Boom. Okay. There we go. Okay, come on, pin. There we go. All right. Oh, I like that too, Juanita. Great idea. Maybe include the flowers of his birth, whatever month that he was born in. Maybe put that in there as well. Okay. 24 by 24 by 1 inch thick piece of pre-cut lumber is my fluff board. 2-inch C-hook allows me to go ahead and hook my pipe cleaner in here. Just like that. Someone's having a barbecue. So not fair. And so now we're separating the ribbon tail from the ribbon loop. So I'm going to go loop to the left, tail to the right. I'm going to go find that same one here, and I'm going to go loop to the right, tail to the left, so that they're always going to be opposites, but in alignment to what they are. So loops, tails. Then we bring the next one down. I'm going to take the tail over here, and I'm going to fix my loop right here. The loop's going to go right in between. Go find that on the other side. Here is our loop to the right, and here's that one. So now if I pick these up, kind of see the pattern. It's staggering loops and separating them by tails. Now keep in mind that my C-hook is pushing these apart, so that's why it's like they won't stay. It's because there's something there. And if I continue the pattern, we're going to have all brown on one side and all yellow on the other. So I'm going to mix these up. So I'm going to go, let's follow the yellow we just did. So right, left, and we're going to go right, left. Okay. Go back and find our next ribbon, and this is where we're going to go the loop to the left, tail to the right, should be right there. Go back over, and we're going to do loop to the right, tail to the left. Now we're going to end up having to change course again, otherwise we have brown on brown, yellow on yellow. So now I'm going to follow yellow. Okay. Do the same on the opposite side. Just follow your yellow pattern. See right now, there's on my tails, everything else is loops. And then here, we're going to follow the final one down. So that's there. That's there. Here is all of our loops. Or those are all of our tails. These are all of our loops. Everything is flat. So from here, we're just going to lift. Okay. And we're going to go over to the other two. On the other side, lift, elevate. They're just a nice little opposite pattern. You don't have to do this. You can do it all on one side. Okay. Flipping over here, we have I'm trying to think, do I want to pull brown here? I think I want the yellow in the center. And going over here. So cool. Yes, Amazon does have a few books on the language of flowers. I was actually reading an actual novel. Like, it was like this guy, that was how him and the romantic interest communicated to each other, is through flowers. So when they would fight, they would send like forget-me-nots or forgive me kind of flowers. And so it just developed a very interesting fascination for that. And so I love looking at the symbolism. Some people are really into it. Other people, not so much. And like I said, it's entirely up to you. So I'm just pulling these around, trying to get that Swiss dot back in the center. Just like that. We've got the brown over here. Again, I'm working with the C-hook being in the way. So now I'm going to pull my sweet tea up in between this one. And sometimes you just have to get your 4 fingers in there to really give that one some lift, so that it's coming in between like the brown and the lemon blossom. And then the sweet tea is kind of popping up between these two, just like that. So nice full. Everything is full right now. So now we're going to involve the tails. So that's just drawing them through your fingertips, just like this. You can do them really quick. I do this all the time when I'm at the stores. I'm like, these poor people, they'll never sell their bows unless you fluff them. And then they look pretty, and then people are like, oh, I want that bow. So, yeah. And this is how we end up selling our bows, is they got to look nice enough so people can envision them. The bottom ones are a little hard because they lay flat against the surface, but when I take this off and put this on the wreath, you'll kind of see the whole point. Okay, so you guys are funny. You guys are like, I'm adding it to my cart. That is so cool, though. I love that you guys find some inspiration here. And you can include that in your item description when you are building your wreath. You know, you could put, did you ever know that Yellow roses mean more than just friendship. They also mean XYZ. So as you can see, I cut the twine off of my sign. I'm going to do yellow because I would like it to blend. So I'm going to pull out 2 yellow pipe cleaners. And I'm going to kind of bend those into a little U. Looks more like a V. And we're going to go upper and lower because that's a longer way to attach these. 1/4-inch staples. So just like that. A twist. And we're going to do the bottom one. They don't have to be exact. As OCD as I can be sometimes, I'm not that OCD. I think I got it from my dad just coming out of the Navy, so he was very meticulous in what he did. I'm going to just add a dab of glue here, just as an extra precaution. Not needed, but anything that I can do just to make it last a little bit longer, I will. I'm looking for a business card. I don't currently have one there, which means that I have finally run out of my existing business cards. So, okay, I don't need that. We went back to old style. So we're going to add that to the back because customers always need to know, hey, where'd I get that wreath from? Okay, there's that. And I'm just doing a quick zigzag, just like that, just so they know where they got it from. We're going to bring this back over. Okay, so I am going to pair this up right in the center. I'm hoping, let me look. Where is my centers? Remember those 6 that we did in the center? I'm going to go ahead and use those. So there's one, because I know that if I attach it there, I am at least right on the money. I'm going to kind of pull and hold it down. You're so welcome, Anna. She said, thank you guys for the great ideas and suggestions. Have a great night. Okay. And then we're going to do the same thing. We should have another one right here. And we do. So, just popping that right down. We're not pulling the sign all the way to the frame. If we did that, we would have a smush sign. So I am trying to make sure that I get that right in line. Just like that. Okay. There's a little brown fuzz. Okay. Now we're going to add our bow. Like I said, I kind of want the bow to go over here. So what I want to do is pull. I'm going to pull these forward. Just like that. I'm going to take these couple little pieces right here and see if I can tuck them a little bit more flat to give myself what's called a bow home. A home for a bow. And once I put that in, then I can go ahead and refluff my Deco mesh. So this is where knowing where your tails come into play will help with your design process. So knowing where I put those loops, I can brush those right along the edge. Let me see. I'm just kind of eyeballing a location. But I have to go through a lot of Deco mesh to get there. Let me see if that works. Fabric mesh ribbon. Yeah, there's a lot there. Okay, so now you can see we have enough here. And I'm just going to fluff a bunch of stuff. So I can still read my sign, still see all my ribbons, still see all the bows, still see all the pretties. You can bring those around, you can bring them up. Like I said, how you style your bow is going to be entirely up to you. So there's that. Okay, gonna bring those back in, bring that back in, bring my cabana back under, just like that. And the reason why I just pushed the Deco mesh out of the way is so that my bow doesn't sit up here. It actually sits down by my sign. And I know the way that you're seeing it, it looks like, well, it's kind of impacting it until I get it on the door. You're looking at it somewhat kind of flat, but not really. So let's add our embellishments to finish this design, because it's an awful lot of yellow around that. So remember I told you I have lemons, but I need to customize the picks. So this is the way the lemons come from Craft Outlet. These ones were a 4. It has 4 lemons on it. I think the ones that Craft Outlet sells are a little bit less, but it does look very similar, and it has 3 lemons on it, which we're only going to use 2. We're working on what's called, I don't know if there's a typical term for it, but it's like a triangle method. So when you're adding embellishments, odds and non-symmetrical things have a tendency of drawing your eye in, because our eyes are always drawn to, hey, that's odd. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to, oops, as soon as I find them here, I'm going to separate the very first pick, which is right at the top with its floral. So I'm going to take this one and I'm going to customize my pick. This one actually has the lemon leaves that I don't, but I do have I have one that works? I do have one that works instead. So like this one, I have picked all the lemons off, but I keep all the greenery. So I'm going to add some legitimate lemon leaves, even though these are on there. I'm not going to use those. I like the ferns. Those are kind of a nice visual, kind of like this one. So let's pair the lemon leaves with the fern. So I just separated everything so I can actually get to wiring them, and I want to keep them low. So I don't want them to go too high, like I don't want a big full pick. And then I'm going to use this super cute little piece of grass, just like that. And that's my little greenery bundle. And so I'm going to take the wire and I'm just wrapping those together. I'm going to cut off that rest of that stem. And then I'm going to pull my lemon from that. And then this lemon, let's see, take that down a bit. This lemon is actually going to sit inside like this. And this is going to sit right about, I'm just placing for visual interest for me. So I kind of like that kind of tucked down in here a little bit like that. We'll probably pull the green leaves out. So that's a nice, it looks refreshing and lively. So that's what I do when picks don't work out the way I like. I just build my own picks and then I make sure that everything is well wrapped. If you wanted to really, you know, overdo it a bit, you could get, do we have some? Yes, we do. We have some floral tape. If you wanted to get rid of this and not see it, remember to activate floral tape. You will stretch. And then you can start wrapping at the top. Oop. Flipping. Just all the way through, and I'm going all the way back up. Okay, pulling that little piece off. And there is my secondary pick. I'm doing a little bit bigger lemon on this one. And then this is going to kind of go in that location so that we have a couple lemons with some greenery cascading around our sign. So that's roughly what it looks like. You could, if you wanted to, like I said, if you had lemon slices, which I was looking for, you could tag in some like you could add in some greenery, you could add in like a lemon blossom, and you can carry that green theme all the way around. Even if all you had were these leaves, you could still make these work. You would just kind of come in at this angle. I'd probably bring one in here, and then you could add like a little white lemon blossom to that, but you can see how these kind of get lost in all that yellow. And then look how much more. Do I have another one? No, I cut that one off. But let me show you. Here's just one. I just have a singular. You could come in here like this. And grab another one. Like so. This is an option you do have. Like that. And add a lemon blossom. I think, look, I think these do. Might put these in there. They're all mixed in. So they kind of have them like this. So I need to take that down, but there's like little lemon blossoms, and you can carry that theme. If you have enough of them, you can put them with the brown. You could pair them with your yellow. I don't know which one you would prefer. I'm going to do both and see what we think. Oop. Trying to get that under. I'm just tucking. That's an option you have as well, to just keep carrying that theme around all the way. For me, I didn't want to do it on the sweet tea because I wanted the ribbon to stand alone, but it still works. I'm just not sure that, let me see, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do I have enough? It might if I break the lemon blossoms down into much smaller picks rather than that. If I take them smaller, see, they're really long because they're all taped up together. If we added that, let's do some leaves that are not quite so crazy. Okay. So again, working on embellishments. Sometimes you guys just gotta save your greenery to make those work. I kind of like that. I'm just wondering, do I have enough to go all the way around? I don't know. I'm gonna flip it so you guys can see while I continue down this path of, oh wow, look. Okay, there is that one. I'm trying to see, do I have enough of the right color leaves that would play well. Taking the blossoms out. Oop. That would come in here. What do you guys think? I like that, Tina. That's Brew-Tea-Ful. You're so creative. So do you guys think we should add the lemon blossoms to this? Or should we not? I think I have enough to make it work. Honestly. So that there would be a little something for everything all the way around. Like there's that one. That. I do, you guys. I have enough to go all the way through. That would go here with that. But what do you guys think? Because you guys are seeing it. I'm just trying to pull. And then this one would go in here. So there would be, let me show you what that looks like. I pull all these back. So that's what, in a sense, you would see. Little bits of lemon blossoms down under the yellow. Okay, you guys said the same thing. You guys like it because it breaks up the yellow. Okay, let's start gluing. Let's start gluing, folks, because gluing goes quickly. So we're just adding a glue stick. Oops. Adding a glue stick to the glue gun because it's out. So adding it, there we go. We will pair these right underneath. I'm going to cut these way down so they fit a lot more snug under there. I need one more baby size leaf, and I have it. So this one's going to go right to the other side. Right here. Making sure our ribbon is not impacted. We're going to add our glue to our lemon blossom. And I'm going to tuck that right in. Keep going around really quick. So I'm cutting down stems so that we just need the leaves. Tucking these right underneath. The bow. Cutting this way down. Adding that through there. Oop. Don't want the leaf to go in to the loop. Want it to go under. There's that one. Need to bring you under. We'll do it here. Cut them way down. Putting them on the back sides. There is one. Try not to put too much glue on it. Cut that stem edge down. Still want it to have enough on there that it holds everything together. Just like so. Okay. Same thing. Go this way. Right underneath. Cut that off. Tuck that right inside. Keep flipping. Got this one over here. I think this was my last one. Boop, beep, boop. This one goes under. Always like make sure that my bow is perfect before I start gluing or attaching anything to any of the edges of the bow. Cut that back. And then we just need to glue the ones around our sign, and then we are good. Okay. Lifting. Let's go ahead and glue these in. So I'm going to go ahead and take my big bunch. I'm going to coat that in glue because it loves to adhere to mesh. I'm going to go right underneath the lip, right there. And we've got our lemon stem. Just going to coat glue on that. Slide that right in. Nice and snug. And we're going to do the same thing on this one. Both sides. Oop, tagged my sign, but I'll wait for that to dry and just peel that off. And little baby. Right on the very end. Right inside here. Okay. Fixing our bows. Adjusting our loops. Everything is done. We're ready to go. Let's lift up and put this on the door and see what we think. Hang tight. Oop. There we go. Drop down perfectly. I had glue around my arm, which is fun. Okay, so this one is down, this one is up. Let me pull the glue threads off. This is where I should just move my wreath to where it needs to be rather than dragging things around. There we go. So again, making sure everything looks pretty. Glue threads removed. So, because those little minute details always show up in our photos. So just make sure things like your ribbon tails are addressed. Everything is nice and pretty and full. There's no bent edges. Your bow looks good. I'm just going to fluff these up because I was kind of playing with them when we were putting them in. But trying to get that centered. Okay, now it's on my hook. Okay, so we can take this, adjust that up just slightly, make sure ribbon tails follow that around so you can see the whole sign. I'm going to zoom in so you guys can see it on the up close. I think that'll work. Okay, so that's what we have figured out for this one. Sweet teas. Some people like lemon, some people don't. I like lemon in my tea. But yeah, that is our have a beautiful day. There. And like I said, if you wanted to, if you had lemon slices, you can come in and, you know, tuck lemon slices in. One thing I didn't consider is you could maybe have gotten away with putting this on like a moss apple green base. It just depends on what ribbons you had available. But for me, I had to keep them within the beige, natural, white, yellow, and just a touch of brown because that was the color palette I was leaning on. Okay, cool. Awesome. All right. So, Steve, that makes me want to order Arnold Palmer. Okay. What is that? Lemonade and iced tea together, I think. Something like that. So that was the design that we completed today. I hope you guys will come back and join me on Tuesday, which is at 2 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Eastern for another design. And other than that, thanks for joining me, and I appreciate you guys subscribing to